Greetings. So, the biggest issue I have with the word black is that it is confusing. And outside of Africa, it has no context when you describe it and when you're talking about people. Because over time, we see that the definition or the meaning is shifting, particularly amongst people. Why do I say that? Because black, for one, is a social construct, a pan-racial identifier that classify people of African origin with diverse cultural identities into a single racial category. And depending on where you at, it has a different definition. If you're in South Africa and if you have a parent that is European descent and a parent of African descent, you are considered colored. You are not considered black. For you to be black in South Africa, you have to have both parents as Africans. In the US, you can be 20% African and you consider black. If you choose to claim yourself black, you can probably be 10% African and claim that you're blackity black. So the thing about black to me is it's confusing and it's a distraction because it classifies people of African origin with diverse cultural identity into a single racial category. It's based on race. And we know race has no scientific definition at all. It's just merely the self-observation that we all are of the human race and have different discernible traits. I prefer to use what we call pan-ethnic identifiers. If you someone of African descent, I would call this person an Afro. If you someone of European descent, I will call this person a Euro. If you someone of Far East Asia, most likely you are Chinese origin. So when we talk about ethnic groups now, ethnicity is a lineage based on identity, rooted and shared in ancestry and historical experiences. The one issue that always come up when we speak to people who classify themselves as black and detach from Africa, the one issue that comes up always is that everyone comes from Africa. But that is a illogical statement at best because they fail to acknowledge that they share most recent common ancestry with African people. And it's a distraction because people would say that I'm black, but I didn't come from Africa. Like, you can't have black without Africa. When we start classifying people as race, you kind of fall into this propaganda express thing. And so now it's become so common, like it's neither here nor there. It's normalized. So if I say someone is brown, that means that they tan. They mean that they of Hispanic origin, right? So if I see someone from Africa, even if they're not black, we call them black. So these are social constructs that was invented by Europeans to normalize Afrophobia, to normalize bigotry. So when we talk about these distractions and we talk about the confusion that but long as we have eyes, we're going to know that we have a common ancestry with African people across the continent. Not to say now, if you're trying to use black as a separate social group, you can do that because we have different groups of people. You have the Yoruba, you have the Edo, you have the Zulu, all these different people, but they are African people. So if we choose to be a different group of Africans, but you will have to be blind to think that you're not African. So that's why I say maybe we need to stop using this word black, because the bottom line is it's becoming very Afrophobic to even say you're black these days. I say a little